Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a bonus reading for each zodiac sign to see how the Chinese New Year is going to affect the Western zodiac signs. And Virgo, you are the star of this astrological insight. So the major difference between the Chinese zodiac and the Western zodiac is that the calendar is based on the lunar calendar for the Chinese zodiac. It's February 17th is New Year's Day, and on February 5th, 2027, that year is over. Whereas in the solar, or in the Western, it's based on the solar zodiac and on the rhythm of the sun and celestial stars. And of course, it's on January 1st. In the Chinese zodiac, it depends on what year you were born in, and in the Western zodiac, it depends on what month you were born on. So this year begins February 17th in the year of the fire horse, and this is one day before moving from Aquarius to Pisces energy in the Western zodiac. So if you've already blown your New Year's resolution, here is your second chance. And we're going to take, I already did shuffle the cards before, but I just wanted to give them a quick cut. And we are going to take the energy from the bottom of the deck as the underlying energy for the entire reading. So this is the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles is talking about the Pentacles are health, wealth, and happiness, abundance on the 3D. Having said that, a big part of that, of course, is money. But this is the only card where the person is actually working on the actual coin. And so this focus is about making money. And it looks like you've either started a new project and you're on the second pentacle and you have these to go, or you've done all of these and you're on the second last pentacle and you only have one to go. So we'll see what that is. This is right up Virgo's alley because look how perfectly lined up they are. It's like you've been hard at it. There we go. So we have, oh, look at that. So this is the Eight of Pentacles and this is the Seven of Pentacles. Really interesting. I feel like this card is saying that this person is, they're studying their pentacles and they're wondering, did I put all this work in for nothing? Like, should I take this last pentacle that I haven't even started and just do something entirely different? Or take this energy and move it into a, sideways, kind of in a different direction? And I feel like this energy could be because we just moved in from today when I'll be posting this on January 4th. So we had the big full moon last night in Cancer, and it was like very emotional full moon. And perhaps you're sort of on the cusp here of deciding moving into the new year, maybe I want to do something totally new or something different, a different aspect of what I was doing. And take all the money that and so that would mean that you already put all this energy into it, or you decided to do that just before the year end in 2025, and you're already on the second one. So we'll see what that's about. We have this, so this would be February energy, and oh, look at this. We have the Three of Cups. So this card represents a celebration, and a lot of tarot readers read it as such. I personally don't have, this isn't my favorite card. I'll tell you why. These three are celebrating, they have their cups raised, but not a single one of them is looking at each other. So they're not celebrating each other, they're celebrating something, like an event, some sort of whatever, right? And so this card sometimes can be like gossip, slander, people in the background making plans of their own, and then maybe they have they're celebrating the fact that you are in this energy. That's the energy I'm picking up. And the reason for that is in a lot of cultures, especially in Europe, when you toast someone and you don't look at them, it causes 7 years bad luck in your romantic life. And so you can imagine the energy, 7 years bad luck, and this is about romantic love, usually the cups. It can be about something you love to do or love to be. This also can be talking about a couple having a third party involved in their relationship. So we'll see what's going on here. That's February and March. Competition. Yeah, so you have some immature competition. So Virgo, here you have, this is my Mean Girls card, because this is also the only card in the tarot that features adolescents in a group like this. And they're young and they don't really understand the true nature of competition. They don't understand that even if you're on a team and you're against a team, that really what you're doing is you're competing with the last best version of yourself, like how you perform as well as how you perform along with your team, and that the competition is there to raise your vibration and inspire you to compete in an even stronger way. So this is my Mean Girls card. This is like this malicious, gossipy type energy, cheering someone's downfall kind of energy, that kind of background energy. And this is kind of like, you think of narcissistic cheerleaders that will do anything to win. And if they don't succeed, their mothers will. So there has been some effort put in this by your competition. Okay, and then we have the King of Swords. So the King of Swords represents a figure that is this. All of the figures in the tarot are actually archetypes. So this could be a male in their masculine energy as well as a female in their masculine energy. And the swords represent your mental intelligence, control of your mind. This is a double-edged sword. So this is talking about, this would represent someone who is using their mind to earn their living. And instead of, having to use physical, they use words. They're very good at words. So this can represent someone, he's at the top of his field. He's the king. So it can represent someone that is a lawyer, like a prosecutor. It could be a judge. It could be someone that's a politician. It could be an influencer that's like really at the top of their game in the, in the influencing world, that kind of energy. Someone who uses words. And so the King of Swords is very aware that words, gossip, can be, that words can be real weapons. And that talk is cheap and actions speak louder than words. So that's the energy that I'm picking up here. And so you might be, this might be the story of what's happening to you, but you might be in this energy now where you found out. Maybe this can represent having knowledge that you didn't have before, is how I'm reading it in this. And so this February, March, April, May kind of energy. And then, oh, look at this. Crapola, Virgo. All right, we have the devil showing up here, saying, okay, you found out that your competition had some very bad intentions, and that your competition might be people that are frenemies, is the energy I'm picking up. So they didn't have good intentions for you. And behind your back, when people avoid you, and they may be avoiding you right now, it's because of, a lot of times it's because of things they did, not the shift that you did. That's the kind of energy. And so this is talking also, this could be a lover that you've had, and these two people are yoked, and they're like, the chains are around their neck and they're fastened to Saturn's box. The Saturn energy is very deep energy. Every 27 years, like, so when someone's 27, 28 years old, and then again 27 years later. So usually 3 times in each person's life, we go through having to kind of go through what has happened in our life and sort it out kind of energy, this kind of energy. and both from our actions and other people's actions. And so you could be, so that would be 27 and 54-ish, you know, that's the age. Let's see when the devil shows up, this is representing temptation, and it's also representing lust. So the devil is perched on this Saturn's box that they're yoked to, and they have, he's on his haunches, which represents animal instincts, and so lust energy rather than love energy. And so there could have been some form of temptation. The devil is all about temptation. When the devil shows up in my readings, I always cover him because the devil cannot do his own dirty work. He has to send in minions. And I want to see, who are his minions, or does God step in and cover you? There's some dark energy going on, black magic type voodoo, that kind of bullshit energy. When the magician shows up on top of the devil, it's talking about people that actually believe in dark magic. They believe in spells. They believe that they can cast spells on people. And if people believe in their spells, then they can. But quite often when you get down to it, you'll find out that they really, you can see the magician here is the very first card that shows up for the energy of when the fool goes on their journey in the major arcana. It's the 0, and then this is the 1. So this card is saying that, magic is about being used for the good. And people don't often realize also when people are talking about dark energy and they're talking about spells and casting spells and all that kind of energy, black magic, the energy is that the words you use to put against someone, or the intentions, the thoughts that you put in to harm someone, that those spells actually work on people. And they do work on some people that are afraid of black magic and are afraid of that. But when you look into it a little bit further, you'll notice that they have very little power, because, think about if you have a bright sunny day, and there's all this beautiful light, shining from the sun, which represents God, and someone has something dark in their hand. Are you going to notice that? Probably not. Like you're going to be like, oh, there's like the blue sky, the sunshine, it's warm, the trees are green, it's spring. Think about it like that. The flowers are starting, the tulips are coming up. And now think about being in a very, very black, dark place, and someone lights a match. You're going to notice, and that's the energy. And so the dark, the black magic and all the voodoo and all that shift that they do, eventually it catches up with them. And God allows it because we have free choice. And so this is about people who have chosen to get what they want without having to work for it, and to do it by casting spells. And they can put a lot of energy in it. They'll light candles, they'll do mirror magic, all sorts of things. And they'll put so much energy into it that if they just would have put that energy into doing their own shift, then they'd be in the position where you are, where you can start over again from scratch if you have to, because you have all this knowledge from what you've already done, and all they have is a bunch of bullshit that they've been doing for, the time that you've been doing this. And quite often you'll find out after that, like, if there's a lot of them working together, a lot of times they're using technology to make it appear like they are able to cast these spells. And they actually do believe that they are doing this, but they don't realize that there's a lot of technology being used to make it appear that way. So some people at the very top of that energy, they know, and they're using these people to get their dirty work done for them. And so that's what this is talking about. And so we'll see what happens from here. Judgment's being called. That's what I figured. Because if it's coming out in a reading, It's like God is saying, oh, okay, I've given you so many chances. Now the shift's going to hit the fan. Every single thing that you wished on this person is going to happen now to you, to your loved ones, and it's called karma. And some people think that's punishment, but it's not. It's cause and effect for your actions. And so that means probably at some point you had to like when you make that choice that you're going to let these people go and you're not going to allow them to run your life anymore, what happens is you return the burden back to them. And now they and their families, and they're very selfish. A lot of them know this, that their actions are causing a lot of problems for their ancestors that are across the veil, and also for their descendants coming up. It's kind of like, well, I'll be dead by then, so I don't really care. Let them deal with it. That's how selfish they are. So this energy is like this. This is why the judgment's being called, and like the ancestors have been waiting. They may have been waiting a few generations. The longer these ancestors have been waiting, the worse it's going to get here. And then, of course, these people will be in a position where they think someone else is doing black magic on them, and they hope that because they can't see that it's their own actions, it's cause and effect, and the shift has hit the fan, and they're now going to have to pay for their actions. And that's the way the universe works. And the longer that they've been doing it, and if it's been generations that they've been doing it, the worse it's going to get for them. And they'll blame it on everybody else around them. That's how it is. And there's no, what is the saying? There's no, is it pride? Not pride. There's no comfort among thieves. Like they'll turn on each other, and they'll start using the very tactics that they were using on you. They will start using them on each other. And this energy is kind of like where they're finding out if they'll do it with you, they'll do it to you. That's the kind of energy. Judgment is being called from the Most High. Done. It's just done. Yeah. So perhaps what you did is you went up to, and you've been like, you climbed the mountain and you sat up at the top there and you waited for God, to give you enlightenment and what to do next. And this is what the hermit represents. It's like going, isolating yourself and really meditating and praying until you get enlightenment on what you need to do to resolve this energy. And you may have been, because this represents your higher self network, HSN. And you may, while you were on HSN, you may have realized that, oh, okay, I was actually sent by God to, was my soul path to clean this mess up. And it's a mess. It's a real mess I'm getting. And so now you're like, okay, God, like I'll do what you're asking me to do. I'll just hang in there and I'll start over again and I'll do the work again and I'll keep going and let these people fall away. And that's what will happen because destiny is here. That's the energy. So the Wheel of Fortune is turning, and we have this energy of we haven't seen a horse yet. And so destiny, the wheel is turning. So there is action happening now. And the thing is about the energy of the fire horse is the energy that's coming in on the 17th of February. And we just, as I'm doing this reading, it's the 3rd of January. And we had the full moon, or is it the 4th of January? Sorry. I've been really busy doing readings and just busy. It's New Year's and there's a lot of extra work to do. But this energy is, so I've kind of lost track of day and night. And I just really been in this energy because I know that the full moon on the 3rd here that we had last night was a very powerful, very volatile moon. And it's going to be that way for a couple more days because the energy is in Cancer. And it's the Cancer is ruled by the moon, so that's magnifying it in an aggressive way. And we have the fire horse energy already coming in. The reason for that is because everybody's quite focused on the new right now and moving the wheel is clicking for a lot of people, because 2025 was actually a 9-year cycle coming to an end, and this 9-year cycle is like representing about 10 years of energy of life. And we're moving into 2026. 2 plus 2 plus 6 is 10. And then you break that down, 1 plus 0 is 1. And so this is a new beginning. And so the energy from the 2025 to 2026 on January 1st was very intense. It was more, it was building up. And then on top of that, we have the fire horse energy coming in on the 17th. And so that this energy is like being, it gives a lot of energy and vitality to people for the new. And you think about riding a horse and, you know, going on an adventure on the back of a horse, and you think about how horses they're all heart, and that energy is so inspiring. If you've ever ridden a horse and gone for a real beautiful ride on a horse, it's just, there's nothing quite like it. You think about this big animal that could do whatever it wants, and yet it gives you the authority to tell it where to go, kind of energy. And so this, in matters of love, this can bring up a lot of passion and intensity. And in your career and wealth, it'll inspire you to rise to new heights, to really have a lot of ambition. And then also to take new adventures on in business or whatever, in the way that you make money. And that's the energy, that's the fire horse energy coming in. And that energy is the number one concern with this energy is it's very impulsive. If you've ever ridden a horse and you know when they get spooked, that they can do a lot of damage if they buck you off, and that it can cause a lot of physical injury. And they also, like, if they get the bit in their mouth and they just run, they don't care what direction they're going, and if they're spooked, they just keep going, and they go very fast. So if you're on foot and you get spooked, in your life, or you get make an impulsive decision, you're only going to get so far on foot. But if you're on a horse, you could go really far in the wrong direction really fast. That's the kind of energy. Plus, there's the factor of burnout, because the fire horse energy is like, ride, baby, ride. Move forward, let's go, like wanting to run free, that kind of energy. And so destiny's calling for you to let go of this energy now. I feel like that happened when we, probably on the full moon, because that's when these kinds of energies, they love to do this on the full moon, because they think the cycle is working for them. They don't recognize that the high priestess sits at the right hand on her throne, at the right hand of God himself, and uses her intuition also for the full moon energy in the way that it was intended to be used. And so this magician has the infinity symbol above their head, because they are supposed to be bringing what God's plan is down to earth and use the tools that God has given them to do so. That's what the magician represents. And so when they turn that around and do the opposite and really think that, oh, okay, that's going to be okay with God. I don't think so. Just because you've been getting away with it for this long doesn't mean that it's not going to end. And God, we don't know what God's timing is. God is the only one that can properly assess things, because he has a plan, and it's a big plan, and it includes everyone. The universe has been designed by God to be very Virgo-ish. Virgos, you love it. Cleanliness is next to God. Godliness is the saying, and the energy is having everything like in order, perfectly lined up, kind of OCD, really having that, knowing what the next step is. And on the way, there's the infinity symbol representing infinite potential. But he's also wearing an Ouroboros around his waist, which is a snake biting its tail, which represents getting caught in a loop that's not going to get you anywhere. And we just left we're going to be leaving the year of the snake, which was last year. And the year of the snake is about shedding what no longer belongs to you. And we had that full moon. And if these people have been busy doing more of the same old shift on the full moon, it's by February 17th, when this new year switches over, that energy coming in from the fire horse. If you've ever seen a horse rear up and they see a snake, quite often they'll just go after it and they will trample it. That's the energy. So we have moving into the new. So this is someone who is standing on their turret. I feel like this is where you're at right now. Standing on the turret of your castle, looking over your entire kingdom here. And you're like, oh, I've done really well. I've been really successful, you know. This is nothing to sneeze at, but I'm taking this in a new direction. I've got the whole world in my hands right now. I have, even if it's not as much, like it's 6, and you know, this is 8 here. So like 8 coins is nothing to sneeze at. I'm going to take this energy and I'm going to move it into something new. And so the one wand here represents what you've already planted, and this is the wand of, like, this is moving forward. This is the fire horse energy right here. You know, the passion to move forward. This can represent an entrepreneur that is wanting to franchise, or someone that wants to take their business like global. And this energy is also talking about big fish in a small pond energy, ready to expand your horizons. And then we have, the energy here is, this is like really cool, because this is the only 2 cards that are about actually making money, like, because the pentacles are about health, wealth, happiness, abundance on the planet. And this is talking about, there's 3 levels of making money. There's safe money, and then there's going after your heart's desires, and then your crowning glory. And I feel like you went after your heart's desires already, and now you want to take that in a bigger way to, you know, really make it what you kind of pictured in your head when you started. And this energy is talking about, you may have been playing it small because you haven't had the resources, but you have been taking what you do have and putting it to work. And when you're, this, for a lot of people, this means like thinking that what you've done has not really paid off, but I'm getting you're thinking it has paid off, but now I need to take it in a new direction and take it to the next level of my plan. That's the energy that I'm getting. And then, oh, look at this, and then an Ace of Cups comes in. So the Ace of Cups is a gift from God for staying on your path. And this is talking about being in the energy of, this is talking about the energy of love. It can be romantic love, and quite often it means that a divine partner is being sent. So perhaps you have everything else in your life, like you have a pretty good grip on the pentacle part of your life, but the love part, and this is the energy that's coming up for a lot of people. And I feel like the energy is coming up with all this love that's been coming in for the end of 2025 and the beginning of 2026. There's been a lot of focus on romantic love and finding the right partner. And this energy, I feel, is because the full moon that's in Cancer, that we just are experiencing right now, is actually across from the Capricorn energy. And the Capricorn energy is about, you know, it's the most, how do I want to say this? The Capricorn energy is the most ambitious. And when it comes to building businesses, building empires, you know, things of material matter, that they're the most mature of all of the pentacle signs. And so that's their job, is to bring from heaven down to earth. That's the Capricorn energy. And we're in the Capricorn energy since the 22nd of December. And that is in direct opposition to the Cancer energy. So the Cancer full moon is very moody, adolescent girl energy, that kind of energy, wanting to stay in bed, comfort food, you know, that really emotional. And then we have that being opposed by the energy of Capricorn that we're in right now. And that Capricorn, in that sign of Capricorn is the sun. So the sun is shining on anything that was hidden or was an illusion from in the moon, and that it's shining a light on exposing what has happened here. And the Mars is also in Capricorn, opposing this moon. Mars is very aggressive energy. It's that fire horse energy, like the passion and you know, the drive. And you think about a newborn baby, that's the stage of Aries. It comes in, and it comes in head first, like stubborn. You know, like you think about a newborn baby, what they learn in 1 year. You know, they're totally helpless, and by the end of a year, they're starting to walk, talk, you know, become vibrant human beings. They're up on their feet, a lot of them, by then. And so this energy then also has the planet of Venus opposing. And if you've heard of the saying, men are from Mars, women are from Venus, that's the energy. So all this love energy, anything that wasn't clean, everything, like Virgo, you're just like, oh, clean it up, clean it up. Send me my divine partner. I'll help them clean it up. That's the kind of energy. And so that is where, like here, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, and January, by like, I feel like by the end of 2026, this fire horse energy is going to really, or more maybe by February the 5th, when the Chinese fire horse year ends, you will have well passed through this and be well on your way. Cleaning, all of this will just be gone for you. It'll just be, okay, I'm just on my journey now. And you notice now there's two instead of just one wands planted here. So it's like perhaps you're going to meet your divine partner and move forward with your divine partner in a new way. Really, really good energy for this, you know, time, this season that we're in right now. Especially if you've been having this, you must be getting tired of it by now. It's really funny energy. People are so funny. Like, why not just put the energy into what you want for yourself? It's a lack of confidence, really, is what it is. Bullies, you know, like not able to see that they have their own destiny. They don't want to do the work. You know, they just don't want to do the work. And the universe likes action, so we're going to clarify this and see what else comes up here. But I'm confident, Virgo, that you can handle this. You know what to do, and you know you're not lazy, that's for sure. Virgos aren't lazy, and especially in this fire horse energy and at this time in Capricorn with this full moon, like, yeah. One thing about Virgos, when they line things up, they put a lot of thought into it, and you know, and Virgo is also about pentacles, right? It's the in-between. Taurus is the baby of it. And then we have like Virgo energy is when you're a young adult and you're becoming very mature. It's someone that's in the energy where you've learned what you need to know, you have the degree, that kind of energy, and you're ready to move forward. And then when we get to the Capricorn stage, that's ruled by Saturn. And that's when sometimes this energy comes in, because the devil is also ruled by Saturn's box, right? So that's the energy. Seeing life in a box. The opposite of what it really is. Being surrounded by so much wealth and beauty and only being able to see lack. That's the energy. So we're going to, if you're enjoying this reading, Virgo, please do give it a like and a comment and a hype if you know how to do so. And I will, I would really appreciate it. It helps me to build my channel. And I'm going to clarify with my oracle cards. It's Tales from the Vector, Tails. And I do have a website, talesfromthevector.com. And so I have Started this in 2007, and I completed all 64 paintings. I'm an artist, so they're big dragon paintings. Took me a while, and I have all 64 paintings done in 2020. And now I'm working on the information to be able to print the tarot or the oracle deck and bring it out. It's kind of a tarot oracle deck. It has a major arcana. Whoop, there we have it. This card is what wants to come out and clarify. And so I will, in the description box below, have the numbers of the cards listed as they appear here, and you can check it out there. If you want to go to my website, this is the numbers of the paintings, how they're listed in my gallery. All right, so we do have the card that wanted to come out now, and this is deception. Yeah. And I don't know what your situation, everybody's situation. This is a general collective reading. So understand that there's a lot of Virgos out there, and there's a lot of Virgo energy. And some people might be, their moon sign, their sun sign, that kind of energy. So this deception is saying that it could have been someone that was someone you knew, that you maybe considered a friend, was in a threesome. But the greatest deception of all, really, is this energy that there's a war between men and women. That's what this card is about. There is no war between men and women. There's just, a bunch of people not being able to understand how to deal with the energy properly. And then they grow up, and then, we all learn, some faster than others. We have the High Priestess. So this is talking about what I said, sitting next to God on the throne. This is talking about, and it's right across here, about, okay, what is my next step? And it was a good idea to use your intuition to go and commune. And of course, the High Priestess does follow the cycles of the moon. And so I really feel like this full moon is having a pretty strong effect on you, Virgo. And then we have father figures here. So turning princes into frogs. Yeah, it's kind of like you could have someone that was maybe, you really felt that they were a really good partner for you, but then this temptation energy came in, lust for someone else, and it's gone towards this end here. And so that's how life is sometimes. And then we have the Taurus. Okay, so this is, again, remember I said this is very immature competition energy. And so Taurus is like also an earth sign, all about the pentacles. That's the toddler of the universe. The Taurus is the second sign in the zodiac. And so we're talking about, how toddlers are so lovable and they're so funny and they're always asking why, that kind of energy. But this is ruled by Venus, by love, and it's talking about the give and take in life. And so that's this energy here. How much more am I going to give, and how much, I need to start taking as well, kind of energy. And that's when Virgo, when you come to that realization, okay, I'm done with this shift. I don't want to hang out with immature competition anymore. Then you start moving forward in the direction again that you were meant to, and let go of the temptation, the judgment. So being unfettered. Okay, so we have two judgment cards here. And so this might be saying there's some legalities involved, because this is someone that could be a lawyer, a prosecutor, a judge, that kind of energy. Judgment is sitting on here, and judgment is sitting here. Now, in my deck, it's a pink and green dragon, and she's from the Pleiades, and she's featured twice in my oracle. With the judgment card, she is upright, and it's talking about the cosmic heart and what God's plan is. And it's saying that only God can actually properly judge people, but we do have to bring that energy down to earth, and that is usually through legal court kind of energy. So there might be some legalities that are going to go in your favor here if you've been waiting to hear about something like that. And we have the otherworldly desires sitting right on the devil here. The devil wants your soul. And the devil doesn't say, oh, I have something really, really ugly, and when I'm done using you up, well, you belong to me, so I can do whatever I want with you. Why don't you come with me? The devil tempts you with something that's very tempting, and if this energy, in this case, I feel is lust. So this is because we have some sort of deception of this energy. These three witches here have put a hex on, and they think their black magic has caused this to happen, but it's actually just it is an energy. Like, if you want to sell your soul, I guess you can. But you could also give yourself total permission to go after your authentic desires and be on God's path. And that's the judgment that's coming in. If you haven't been doing that, you know, off with your heads. That's the kind of energy. The King of Swords is just done. I can feel like, okay, this is done. Okay, God, I'm going to go in there and clean it up. There we go. Hey, life's a slice, but hold the drama. That's the energy coming in. Okay, we've had enough of this drama. These people are not going to learn. They're going to have to learn the hard way. God loves to give his, you know, we all have choice, right? And that's what this is about. What you're doing when you sell your soul to the devil is you're actually giving up your choice. That's what you're giving up, your freedom. You know, for what? For, yeah, it just doesn't make sense. But hold the drama. The judgment is coming in. The ancestors, your ancestors are cheering. Yay. We've been suffering on the other side of the veil here. Don't these people see what they're doing to their descendants? They're going to have to pay the price. You know, and you don't have to. Hey, I'm just going to be selfish and live my life the way I want, and let them deal with it when the time comes, kind of energy. And we're supposed to be on this planet making the world a better place for our descendants. That's what our job is. And so this is when you become very attached to something. This is a karmic space that a lot of people can fall into. The attachment is the mother of all the other karmic spaces, because attachment is talking about, wanting something so bad that you're willing to abuse your power, you're willing to sell your soul, you're willing to do dirty work for other people to cause pain and suffering to other people and steal from them, like what's not yours. It's just, instead of just doing your own path, and like that's what this is saying, be mature. This is also ruled by Venus, you see that? And so this was, this energy here is when the Virgo energy realizes that lust is just an immature energy of how to handle love. Venus is all about love. And when these signs come in, I just want to make it clear that my intention is to use the zodiac signs in a general collective reading like this for the energy that sign represents, to learn from it. And some of these people, if this is a reading and you're going, holy, this really resonates with me, this energy is, you might know people that are a Taurus or a Libra, and that could be very accurate. Having said that, that's not my intention with this reading. It's more information for you if you resonate with it. We have the star. So the star is all about your innocence and having like that, being on the path that, you were born to shine. We're all born to shine. And this is the energy. If you stay in, it's a choice. It's a choice. Am I going to stay in this energy? Am I going to follow God's path? Or am I going to try and take the easy way out, kind of energy? And then we have the Wheel of Fortune. So this is a gainsaying. And do you notice that this is a 10 and this is a 10? And this is saying, like, I feel this is the new energy, that this horse energy is driving it. Dun, 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 like that kind of energy. I can just feel it. And I feel a lot of people are. And especially so, what this is saying is be really cognizant of where what you're doing in the next few days here, because that Cancer full moon can make people make really choices to do things that they could totally regret, and take you off the path and being able to move forward and have like what you love, right? So if this isn't romantic love, this could just be like all the adventure, but there are two here now instead of just one. So I feel that your reward might be being able to have the perfect person to share it with, that kind of energy. And then we have the Hierophant. The Hierophant represents traditional structure. This is about, sometimes this can represent like really not thinking outside the box energy, like sitting on it instead, like the devil energy. But this is traditional structure, and this talks about court energy and bringing the judgment home. This the Hierophant has his hand in the right hand in the form of a blessing, which represents like all the good energy coming in for staying on your destined path. And then we have, for the final card, okay, someone has been abusing their power. So this could be really sad. This could represent this Hierophant energy who is supposed to uphold the law, and instead they got attached to something and used or they've been abusing their power, or it's these people abusing. And and if this is you, Virgo, and this is actually, because the deception card is right on the energy of, this is the center of the reading, then I feel like if this was you, you have figured it out and you're moving forward in a different way. One thing we can say about being in alignment with God is that God is a very forgiving God, and we just all have to do our best to stay on our path. I hope that you have enjoyed this reading, and please do like and comment if you have. Give it a hype if you know how. and consider subscribing if you are enjoying and resonating with the energy of the channel. I will be back with another astrological insight for you for mid-month. Bye for now, Virgo. Yeah, I have to wake you up, Stella.